So we've just arrived in Gouvier Marina in Corfu for our moorings charter. We have this lovely Robertson & Kane 514 PC Powercat, and we're going to be going off tomorrow to explore Corfu and some of the neighbouring islands. We've just had a very thorough briefing all about the boat. We've got 4 double cabins on board and a couple of rented paddle boards, and the boat is perfectly set up. It's only a year old. It's got twin 350 horsepower Yanmar engines, really comfortable boat, and I think we're going to set off tomorrow, check out some of this trip down south along Corfu and then across to Paxos and Anti-Paxos, and then maybe across to the mainland and see what we can find over there. So let me give you a little show around the boat and then we'll get on and set off cruising tomorrow. So this is one of the 4 double cabins on board. They're all en suite. This is one at the stern, slightly wider bed, but very nice and clean, comfortable, lots of air and light coming through, big hatch overhead and enough storage. So as well as a double in the stern of each hull, there's also a double in the bow of each hull, and again they're both en suite. Bed's a little bit narrower, but again plenty of light and nice overhead hatch, so plenty of air too. So the nice thing about a catamaran is you've got a lot of living space. So we've got a family in each hull and then joined by this big saloon and galley area. So we've got a really well equipped galley here. You've got gas, cookers, big sinks, a nav station here. The helm is actually upstairs on the flybridge, but you can do all your planning here. And then there's a big dinette area where you can all hang out and have lunch. So one of the nice things about these designs is that you've got a door at either end. So you've got a big sliding door into the cockpit, and then this rather nice feature is a door out into a little breakfast area out on the bow. Come and have a look. This is the lovely little bow area. You've got a couple of flip-up tables on either side, so you can sit here and have your breakfast or your sundowners, and nice and private because you're stern to the quay in the Mediterranean. And then a big deck area up forward where we've got a couple of stand-up paddle boards and a bean bags just to chill out in the sun. So as well as an indoor dinette area, you've also got this lovely cockpit area with a big square table where you can sit, probably a dozen people if you want to. And then behind me over here is the tender on a hydraulic bathing platform which lowers down into the sea for a very easy launch and for a lovely water sports platform if you just want to go off a swim. And last but not least is this enormous flybridge area. Again, you've got the full beam of the catamaran and a really comprehensive wet bar with a sink, fridge, and my favourite bit, the barbecue grill. So we've just finished our first day out at sea. We took the boat out of Gouvier Marina and headed south down the coast of Corfu and across to the Savota Islands just off Murtos. And we anchored up in a beautiful emerald blue bay where we swam, we took the paddle boards out. It was so clear you could feed the fish little bits of bread and they'd come and nibble them from your hands. And then we picked up the anchor and motored round the island and came in here to the little village of Murtos. And we're now anchored on the town quay. A little bit tricky first time round, there's a bit of a wind coming in, but we got the principle of it and we managed to straighten the boat up, and now we're settled in for dinner in this beautiful little bay, a beach over to my right, the town quay over to my left, and our pick of as many tavernas and restaurants as you'd like.
It's 8:30 in the morning and we're anchored up in the beautiful harbour of Lacca on the north coast of Paxos. We had another wonderful day yesterday where we cruised down from the Savota Islands to Paxos and spent the day exploring up and down the east coast, checking out the little harbours and bays as we went. So we started off here, in Lacca, where we anchored up and had lunch. Then we cruised down the coast, stopping off in Longos, down to the main town of Gaios, which is a remarkable little cut through between the islands where there's only really just space for this big catamaran to squeeze through the southern entrance over a shallow sandbar where there's tripper boats and a lot of other pleasure boats moored up, all trying to jostle for space. But we cruised through there really just to experience it, but decided that this harbour in Lacca was really the spot to be. And we're currently anchored up with a couple of long stern lines ashore to make the most of the shelter in this beautiful clear turquoise water, where I've just been up and had a swim before breakfast, and now we're about to tuck into a wonderful Greek breakfast of yoghurt, honey, fresh cherries and apricots. And I really can't think of anywhere I would rather be enjoying that breakfast at the moment.
So this is where we've just spent the night for our fourth night of our moorings charter in and around the islands of Corfu. This is Futumi Bay on Paxos, and as you can see, it's a glorious white sandy crescent beach with beautiful clear water, and we've got a forward anchor out and a stern anchor just to hold us in place and make sure we don't swing into anything else. We had another glorious day yesterday. We picked up anchor from Lacca where we had breakfast and then cruised down the west coast of Paxos, which is fabulously indented with all these limestone caves with huge towering cliffs, where if it was a little bit calmer we could have put the tender in the sea and gone in and explored them by tender, but to be honest it was just a little bit too much swell for the hydraulic bathing platform, so we just motored in, nosed around and then carried on further south to Paxos. And this is one of the bays on the Paxos. We had a little cruise up and down. We spent lunch in a beautiful little small cove where we snorkeled around and saw some of the amazing limestone formations and even an underwater arch that you could swim through. But for the evening we settled in here because of the beautiful beach and the fact there's a taverna here too if you want to. They sometimes say the locals discourage anchoring, but at this time of year, right at the beginning of June, it didn't seem to be a problem. And we had the bay almost to ourselves with just one or two other boats, swam ashore, played cricket on the beach, and had a wonderful dinner on board at anchor. And we've had a very peaceful night. And for today, we're hoping to pick up the anchor, motor away before all the crowds from the tripper boats arrive, and make our way gradually north to Old Corfu town, where we're hoping to spend the night in a little harbour called Mandraki Harbour, which is right under the old Venetian fortress. So hopefully if the weather stays like this, we'll have another glorious day out on the water. This is our final night in Corfu, and for tonight we've come and moored up in Port Mandraki, which is a fabulous private marina underneath the walls of this old Venetian fortress that you can probably see behind me. We've had another amazing day on board the Moorings 514 Powercat. We spent the afternoon in Patriti, a little fishing village on the southeastern corner of Corfu, where we anchored in clear blue water, rowed ashore and enjoyed a wonderful lunch in a taverna with beautiful flowers and bougainvillea hanging down, incredible colours, and a lovely view of the boat through all the greenery. And then we've just motored up the coast and we're going to moor up here for the evening, enjoy the sunset and go into Corfu Old Town and experience a bit of the real Corfu. It's been another fabulous day, and already feeling a little bit sad that it's coming towards the end of our holiday. But it has been fantastic, and we've still got time tomorrow to explore a bit of the north coast of Corfu.